Hey, what's up everybody? Peloton here with another YouTube video. This time I'm going to be covering my latest IRL stream setup. I've been getting a lot of questions in YouTube comments lately. How do you connect via RTMP? Can you walk me through connecting to the Jetson Nano running BELABOX? So today I'm going to show you my latest stream setup, try to answer all your YouTube questions. If you find this video useful and informative, please consider hitting that like button below. And if you're looking for more cycling IRL streaming content here on YouTube, please also consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So for those of you that tune into my Twitch streams, you may have remembered that I've been playing around with different bag setups lately, trying to find the ultimate setup. And I eventually moved away from the handlebar bag that I was using, and I went back to my Evoc CC 3-liter backpack that I'd been using for the last year. And I think I'm really going to stick with this one. It seems to be the most versatile, best setup overall. The handlebar bag just really, it's too difficult to set up on the bike every time. And because I have an out front mount, you can't really get good access into the pockets. And trying to take the battery out and take the bag off and on to just recharge everything wasn't working out very well for me. So sticking with my backpack, it's had gone through some rough moments, but I do have the Peloton Twitch patch on here now, so that's pretty cool. Another update, I'm using a 3D printed Jetson Nano case. I ended up damaging my old case, or ended up damaging my old Jetson Nano by putting it in the handlebar bag because I couldn't fit it with a case in there. So I had it sitting in there without a case, and all the bouncing around of the handlebars going over bumps and stuff ended up just kind of bending some pins, and the Nano wasn't working so well. So I am using this 3D printed case that you can kind of see through the mesh pocket there. I will post a link to that in the description below. But sticking with the backpack, mesh pocket on the outside, plenty of airflow here to the Nano, and I'm still using a 3-modem setup. So I've got the Nighthawk M1 on the inside here. I'm running this without a battery, so I leave it, open back, just connected via USB-C power, and then it's Ethernet into the Nano itself. And I've got 2 other modems, one of them here in the front right mesh pocket strap. This is the Inseego 8800L. This one tends to overheat, so putting it in the mesh pocket makes it so it doesn't end up overheating, which is good. And then last but not least, I've got this Netgear Verizon Jetpack 4G LTE modem that I've been using recently because my Netgear Unite Explorer modem died. This one's been working fine. Fortunately, I had a backup, and I typically just put that right inside here in this little mesh pocket on the inside. So just slide that in there, and then zip it up. And I more or less just kind of leave a little bit open at the top. So there's just enough room at the top unzipped there to get enough oxygen, air, whatever you want to call it in there to more or less ventilate whatever we got going on inside the bag. I'm using a different battery pack than the one I used last time. I'll post another link to that in the description below. The reason I'm using this new 65-watt power bank, just because it has more USB ports. It's got 4 USB-A ports, and it's got 1 USB-C port, so plenty of, power cable options to charge all sorts of different things. Nice thing about this backpack is you've got kind of like an exit port from the bag on the shoulders. And so I'm running 2 cables out from the shoulders here. I've got 1 USB-C cable that I use to power the mic, and another USB-C cable that I use to power my camera. So backpack goes on, chest strap coming across here. Microphone goes on the little chest strap right here, the dead cat. And the nice part about this is I got the USB-C cable coming out the back. There's even like a little clip here that you can kind of hook into to keep the cable retained when you're not using it. But I can keep the battery on the microphone topped up, which is phenomenal for the entire ride. And I can also plug that into the modem here. I cut out a little hole in the mesh pocket so I can get access to this modem, because this modem will run out of battery over time. So lastly, I was using the DJI Action 2. I'm no longer using that camera. What can I say? DJI Action 2 is a great camera, magnetic mounting, extremely versatile, can take it off the helmet, can hold it out, can take selfies, can do whatever. The one thing that I don't like about the DJI Action 2 is you can't use an ND filter with it. GoPro, DJI Action 2, these cameras with electronic stabilization don't work well with ND filters, and I've been really searching to get more of a cinematic look to my streams and my videos, and everything I read really led me to believe that I needed to slow my shutter speed down to get more motion blur on the edges of the scene. So everything zipping by you on the bike, you want to look blurred, so it really feels like you're part of the action and feels like you're riding fast. And when using an electronically stabilized camera, you run into some problems because the image is trying to be stabilized with software, and using an ND filter and slowing the shutter speed down results in some kind of like jittery warping effect that just really wasn't working out for me. So I've switched from the DJI Action camera to the DJI Pocket 2 mechanical gimbal. This is how I have it set up. So DJI Pocket 2 mounted to a Ulanzi magnetic mount, then mounted to a snap mount, that then this whole thing goes on my helmet. And let me show you what that looks like right here. I'm using the POC Ventral Air helmet. You got the Twitch.tv Peloton sticker on there. So I got a snap mount on the back, 2 volet straps to secure it to the helmet. There's 4 magnets on each corner of the snap mount, and I can just snap this thing onto the back of the helmet, and then it lays flat on top. So this little Ulanzi extension just gives me enough of a reach to get the angle up on top of the helmet. And as you can see here, I've got some Velcro on the back of the Pocket 2 and a little Velcro patch on top of the helmet there as well to just kind of help keep it a little bit more secured. And fantastic thing about all this, right, is as I'm riding, I can take the camera off the helmet. I can take some selfies, do whatever, you know. It's extremely convenient to just be able to pop that sucker off, be filming off to the side, behind me, all sorts of things. I mean, I can ride my bike and do this and do selfies. I can see what's going over my shoulders when I'm in a pack or whatever. That's kind of how this works. And I actually have it powered as well. So I got my additional USB-C cable that we just plug into the back here. And I can easily be tethered with the camera, but also still have this freedom of wireless. I don't have an HDMI cable that I'm dealing with, and kind of get whatever I need to. Let's get it to the right angle here. There we go. That's the setup now. I know I look like an idiot with my helmet on inside the house here, but you kind of get the feel for how the stream works these days. And see somebody out on the road with a funky looking camera on their helmet. That's more than likely me. Let me walk you through the RTMP setup of the DJI Pocket 2. All right, so to wirelessly stream over RTMP from a wireless camera to the Jetson Nano running BELABOX, in my case, I'm using the DJI MIMO app. So I'm going to pull that up here, and it recognizes that my DJI Pocket 2 is nearby. So device connection, let's connect to the DJI Pocket 2. And eventually it does connect. So let's go to the live stream mode at the bottom. Going to select RTMP, and the live stream settings menu will pop up. You've got a few different options here. You've got the Wi-Fi ID, the RTMP URL, the resolution, the bitrate, and an option to autosave. It will remember the last known or last connected to Wi-Fi network, which in my case is the modem that's in my right shoulder pocket. The RTMP URL that you're going to put in is the IP address of that modem as it shows in the BELABOX UI. For me, that's going to be the Wi-Fi modem with the 202 address. So here I am in the BELABOX UI, and I'm running, I'm running a cloud server, so I've got F0, which is my Nighthawk M1, WLAN 0, which is my Inseego 8800L, .202 IP, and WLAN 1, which is the Verizon Jetpack modem that's in the backpack. We can actually hit start here, it doesn't matter. Let me show you the encoder profile I'm using here. So I'm using Jetson H265 RTMP localhost publish live 30 FPS. You didn't catch that, 30 FPS. And I have a couple custom ones that I use for other purposes, but most RTMP pipelines, you can just use the 30 FPS one. So I've got that selected. I can actually hit start even though the RTMP camera is not connected yet. On the latest images of BELABOX, you have an RTMP server built in, it's always running. So let's go back here to the live stream settings, and I'm going to select 6 megabits per second from the drop down because we want high quality. And I'm also going to select save to SD card at 1080p 30. The reason I do that is, for whatever reason, on the Pocket 2, when you record while live streaming, the quality goes up tremendously on the video feed. Don't ask me why. It seems like if you're not recording, the Pocket 2 adds some kind of internal camera compression. However, when you start recording, that compression factor goes away in the live stream. And I'll post a link to a video where it clearly shows that, you know, the compression goes away completely the second I hit record. So now I just hit auto save every time and it's instantly recording when I go live.
Yeah, 12 miles an hour from the northwest, that'll do it. I'm gonna try recording while I'm streaming here. See what this looks like.
So start live stream, hitting the button here. And you heard the little camera beep. So we are now live streaming on the DJI Pocket 2. If I come back to my BELABOX cloud page here, you can see I've got all 3 modems kicking out some bitrate. I'm in the basement of my house, so the bitrate's not very high on these 3 modems at the moment, but it's working. That's the gist of live streaming via RTMP with a wireless camera. Like I said, super convenient. You can easily disconnect the camera and hold it out or do whatever. One of the great things about the Pocket 2 is that you've got a whole bunch of different options, which I'll cover here in a second as well. All right, so one of the great things about the Pocket 2 is you can use custom settings, and you can use an ND filter. And in my case, I'm using the Freewell wide angle lens with ND filters. I'll post a link in the description below to those filters, but you get an ND8, 16, 32, and 64 filter. So this lets you set manual exposure settings. So you can go to manual, 1/60, auto max of 800 ISO. I'm gonna hit OK here. And then when I start live streaming with this, it'll keep these settings, which allows me to use a ND filter while I'm live streaming. Let's come back into the menu here and get the live stream going. Okay, so we're finally back live streaming here on the Pocket 2. As you can see, it says we're live in the top left, and you can also see that we're recording because the SD card icon is on the bottom right. Great thing about the Pocket 2 is not only can you wirelessly stream, but it also comes with its own wireless microphone. And so we're gonna show you how to connect to that. When you're live streaming, you just swipe down from the top and then you hit the microphone button there. It's gonna say connecting the mic will disconnect you from the MIMO app. That's okay. You're gonna hit okay. I'm gonna set the phone down for a second and connect the mic. All right, so we got the mic here, and all you gotta do is flip the switch, which turns it on, and then hit the link button. And you'll see that the mic is connected. It even tells you how much power is remaining on the microphone and how much time you have left on the microphone. So this is a great thing about this camera. It comes with its own wireless mic. It's a 2.4 gigahertz wireless mic. Connects to the Pocket 2. You do need to have the do-it-all handle, which is this part down here. So that does not come standard. You need to either buy the do-it-all handle bundle with the Pocket 2, or you need to buy the do-it-all handle separately. You get a 3.5 millimeter microphone jack as well, so you could use a Rode Wireless Go if you really wanted to. But like I said, it does come with a DJI's own wireless mic, and I find the mic quality on that to be great. Like I said, you can plug it in, or you can connect it straight to the camera. The piece I like about this is you don't need a separate receiver to use the microphone like you would if you had a Rode Wireless Go 2. You can literally just connect it and you're good to go. So that'll do it for this video. I hope you found this useful and you learned a bit about RTMP streaming from a DJI or GoPro camera to a Jetson Nano running BELABOX. That's how I am doing my Twitch live IRL cycling streams. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you guys on the next ride. Peace.